Here we go. Once again. Live again. I'm not gonna say, this one, the deck is bad on the other side of it. Got a bunch of cracks and holes in it, so I just mainly want to see if this engine is any good. Because if it is, I'll sell it and get some money for it. Trying to get these camera legs here kind of where they need to be. So, this thing was sitting outside for a long time. Well, not a long time. I actually don't know how long. But I do know it was outside for at least a few months. So I just want to, assess everything, be sure it's good enough to sell. I don't really want to put any money into the engine just because I don't know if it's worth it, but I do know it has a blown head gasket, so I know it's got that much wrong with it, but I want to be sure there's nothing else wrong in the meantime. I just noticed that there's another big crack where the engine mounts, so this deck is pretty much junk. And then I'll scrap the deck and maybe get 50 cents or so out of the deck. I don't know why the scrap prices are so low. I guess. Well, wait a minute. That's right. What's going on? 11:30 seconds. Okay. Got those sockets kind of mixed up there. So I'm going to just, of course, very first go to the carburetor. The fuel tank is bone dry, so I think we'll be in luck there. But if the carburetor's good, then I'll check the head gasket. And if that's the only problem with the engine, then I'll get one and sell this engine and get it out of here. I can get one off Amazon for less than $10, so that's not terrible. I actually gotten head gaskets from Amazon less than $5. There's one more bolt up and on the other side. So I'll show you that. There's one of them. And I don't want to come out, but the other screw is right in there, and it looks like somebody replaced that at one point because it's a flat head and it's supposed to be a 5/16 head. So I'll grab a screwdriver. Let's see, I think I'll lower the camera just a little bit. There. That's pretty good. If this engine's any good, then I can sell it, and I can definitely get 100 out of it. I looked around on eBay and other engines that were in really bad shape and all messed up and whatnot. Of these were started at about 150, and the good ones were 200 or more. So if I can get 100 out of it, that's not bad. It's not The outside is not in bad shape, but the inside is what matters the most. Because if there's something wrong there, then it ain't worth fixing. And we won't know that till we get the head off. Which I won't do that if everything else is goofed up. Ugh. If there are two head of screws I hate the most is Phillips and Flathead. I think there should only be Torx. Allen is okay, but they do strip out quite often. Wow, this must be a really long screw because it ain't unscrewed yet. Maybe it is. Yeah, it is. I just did all that for nothing. Hopefully this live goes better than the last one. Yeah, right here is that big long crack I just now discovered, and there's a bunch of holes and cracks on the other side of the deck, so deck is gone. It's too bad because it's a nice robust deck. I mean, I couldn't even pick this thing up, and I can usually pick up push mowers, but it was all I could do to get it up on this table. And then the bolts that hold that on are 1/2 inch, if I remember right. Yeah, they're 1/2 inch. I think. No, they're 3/8. It's been so long since I've worked on one of these. I'm gonna go grab a longer extension real quick. Three people, okay. Not bad for just getting started. Looks like the gasket that seals the filter base to the carburetor is brand new, so that's one good sign. Maybe somebody's been in here and already cleaned this carburetor out, but I want to be sure before I do anything else. Because if that's bad, then happy birthday? It's not. Is it your birthday? Mine's in October. I think I need a short socket for the other one. Yeah, it fits in there a bit better around that fuel line. The fuel line's real it's like plastic because it's real old, so you can't really flex it around. I'll probably take it off at the tank and get it off the carburetor because it's kind of tucked away in there. Yeah, get that afterwards. Yeah, fuel line is all plasticky and filthy. So this, now I'll take it off at the tank right over here. If I can get the pliers in there. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to cut that. I ain't going to with it. I'm not going to show putting a new fuel line on it because the past 2 times I've done that, it never went well. It always goes fine when I'm not live, but I'm just gonna cut that off. I mean, that is some nasty line there. Can't even hardly cut it. There we go. And then that just kind of gotta, there we go, twist it out of there. And the outside's a bit dirty. Try to get this gasket off of here without ripping it. There we go. I was about to give up because I didn't want to rip it, but it broke loose. Okay. Scoot you over to here. Right about there seems good. Got a good view of the table. Carburetor has a funky smell to it. Hi. Alright. Gotta grab that. Okay. Half inch for the bolt nut. Ah, that went in tight. I bet somebody's been in here trying to fix something because that was just barely even hand tight. Okay. Try and get that. Well, the bolt nut don't look too bad, so hopefully the inside looks as good as that. Yeah, it's not bad at all. There's a little gunk in the bowl, but shouldn't take hardly anything to bring this back. Get that clamp off of there. Can't hardly do that with my fingers. Pretty sharp. There we go. I'll just rip this fuel line off real quick. It's no good. Throw that on the floor so I don't pick it up later. Let's see. Grab a rag real quick to wipe that out with, and a little brush. That rag should be fine. Grab a wire brush. Get you kind of like that. Bunch of dirt on my screen. I don't like that. Okay, so shouldn't need much of any cleaning to get this working again. Clean out that junk. Probably just got a little bit of water in it from sitting. Ooh, bunch of dust on my face. Didn't really want that much, but I got that much. Try not to make it stink in here. So I don't want much of any cleaner. Just enough to loosen up that junk. Okay. Just making sure you can somewhat see. Just kind of wipe everything off a little bit. This table's not the cleanest, but I bet this will work just fine. Okay, I'll wipe out the bowl. It's pretty clean. Just had some dust and stuff in the bottom of it. It's not too cold out today. It's pretty nice. That's clean enough. My brush is all wrapped up in the rag. It's kind of annoying when that happens. Just kind of wipe off some of this junk. Yeah, somebody's been in here. That's all scratched up on the outside. Main jet, I think, is clean. I don't want to spray much of anything, but I'll give this one little blast. Yeah, that was going through all the holes. It's clear. I'll stick a little wire down in it from the brush. It's a tiny little hole. So the brush wires is about all that fits in there. I need to keep a couple of these bowl gaskets around because I'm always needing one. And I never have them. You can get a big package of them off Amazon for a couple of dollars. I should keep 3 or 4 around because they're pretty useful. Just kind of wipe that needle off. It ain't very dirty. This thing hardly needs any cleaning. Okay, guess we can just, oh yeah, I need to spray out that main jet real quick. I'll open the door here in a few minutes, just a little bit. If I start smelling anything. Okay, that's good enough. I don't want a bunch of stuff around in here. Okay. Drop that in the dirt before you put it in, because why not? Get in there. There. Needle didn't want to go in this little groove. Slide that down in there. Little pin. Goes into the float. Bowl cleaned up real well. Blow out any little bits of dust. Okay, so I know the carburetor is good. So I know I don't have to mess too much with that unless for some reason it don't work. Which it should. If I can get this lined up. There we go. Didn't want to go in there. Snug that down. Wasn't even tight before. Okay, so now that we know that's good, which that's the main thing. Now we can come over here and yes, we'll do the head gasket now. I step over this cord, which with 3 thick pairs of pants, that ain't easy. Grab a light. I have to fix this cord real quick here. Grab a light and I'll be right back. It's right over here. Okay. Wish this was a flathead, but it ain't. I guess I have to pull off the engine shroud. 4 people. I think I'll start out with those 2 bolts there. 3/8 again. That's bolted into the head, so I have to take it out. That one don't want to come out. Neither does that one. There we go. Wow. That's awful tight. I bet they've never been taken out before. Pretty stuck in there. Awful tight. Shouldn't be quite that bad. Okay, so I'm going to raise up the camera. If it wants to raise up, it's kind of stuck. There we go. Take the cover off. There is, sorry about the camera, 3 little screws on the gas tank. One there. There is one just right there, and one right in there. Those 3 gotta come out. And those 3 are 5/16. These are pretty small little screws. I think that one's in there, maybe not. No, that last one is missing. Oh well. I think it's missing. Socket didn't grab on nothing. It's supposed to be a 3rd one. Yeah, that last one's missing. Oh wow. And then there's 1 bolt down in there. I don't know if you can see it, but it don't have to come out because the tank will just flip back. And then the dipstick tube has a screw in it, which is not the original one again. So somebody's definitely been in this thing. It should have that dipstick tube should have this same little screw as the fuel tank, but it don't. I wanted to put up a fight too. Yeah, that's just a little flat screw, and then that just kind of pops out of the way. You don't want to knock any dirt in the engine. There we go. Okay. And then there's two 3/8 bolts. You might be able to see them. There's one right there, and then one on the other side, right over from that. I gotta grab this other extension. Right over there. 3/8 socket. I'm gonna try to keep this hardware organized because I usually know where it all goes, but it's all been replaced and messed around with, so I don't really know where it all goes. Because nobody takes the time to get the correct stuff. I don't know why. Nobody seems to take the time to fix their stuff the correct way, so they just find something on the floor that works and go with it. Second time in a row that's happened to me. Well, maybe that didn't break. Just had a bolt break the other day. And no, I guess it didn't break. It was just extremely tight. Wow. Somebody really over-tightened that. Yeah, it's not rusty, so somebody was really tightening that. Do the other one. Hopefully it's not as bad. Try and get the socket on there. There we go. Okay, that one is pretty good. I apologize, you can't see, but neither can I. I think it's loose. Yeah. And then I'll put them back in their holes because I don't want to mix them up. I was going to have to take this off anyway because this recoil is a little bit sticky. Set that off to the side, and looks like coil's been rubbing on the flywheel, and I don't know what that fancy little gadget there is. I've never seen that. Huh. Coil is right there, so that's awful strange. And this is a very strange engine. Those two go there. Maybe. Try and get some of that dirt off of there so it don't fall down in the engine. I might not have to take the muffler off. I think I do. What size are those? 3/8? Oh, yeah, 3/8. Please don't break. Oh, that one wasn't even tight. And neither was that one. Those were just barely loose. Somebody's definitely been in here. I know I keep saying that. Should have exhaust gaskets around here because every time I do a gasket kit, I never put the exhaust gasket on. Got a big tub of leftover parts. And then there's one bolt going in the head that holds that muffler on. Okay, that goes to the carburetor. Those two are the muffler. Can you guys see? I'll bring you back up to the front here. Hold on, we gotta set this cord back on the table so it doesn't put so much force on it. And I don't want it to damage my tablet. Okay, these are all 3/8 head bolts. Once again, that's loose. Try and get some kind of light over here. I know if any of you watching know anything about this, but you're gonna be like, you're gonna ruin that head if you don't take it off in the right way. You're gonna ruin that engine. Okay. We'll see just how ruined it will be once I get this thing to start. You're gonna warp that head. You're gonna warp the block. No, I'm not. That's fake. Dumb is what that is. Taken off hundreds of heads and on engines and never had any kind of problem. I never did it in any kind of sequence either. Just take it off however you want. It don't make no difference. Once again, it's a lawnmower. It's not an aircraft. Get this valve cover off of here, and there's ice in there. I hope I remember where all this hardware goes. It's been a while since I've taken one of these older Briggs apart. Let's see. Just gonna see if anybody's commented anything. No. I might have a head gasket for this. I'll have to check in my tub after the live if I have one. But I tried to start this when I first brought it home, and there was a bunch of smoke and air coming out of the bottom of the head. I mean, the oil, it's dirty, but it's not like dark black. It definitely needs changed, but I can tell it was somewhat recently changed. Valves look okay. Take the plug boot off. Might even have the right size to take that off or out. No. Oh well. 3/8 on the head bolts for this engine. Oh, please don't break the block. Oh, that was loose. Might even find that there was just a bunch of loose bolts on the bottom of the head. Oh, where are the other head bolts? Here's two in there by the valves. I think those are head bolts. Maybe not. Nope, they don't feel like head bolts. No, those aren't head bolts there. So where are the other ones? There's one. Never worked on this specific engine. It's like right when Briggs started doing overhead valve engines. It's got a lot of similarities to the flathead, but get that one loosened up. There's a bunch of oil around there too, like maybe it was leaking. Well, I guess that would. I guess there shouldn't be oil in the combustion chamber. I know there's got to be more than 3 bolts holding that head on, but I have to look around on the bottom of it to find them. Let's see, I'll get these 2 top ones loosened up. I'm gonna grab the drill to take those out because I'm sitting there unscrewed. I'm throwing those by hand. That's just a waste of time. Guess impact because they're loose, so it won't damage the socket. Okay. Now loosen up that bolt. Take the extension off so it fits in there. There we go. I think that one's, just about all the way out. So there's more bolts holding that on, but where? There's no more on the bottom. Or is there? Yes, there is. Okay. Guess that don't want to get on the bolt, so can't really see in there with that towel there. Grab the ratchet right here. There should be, I think there is one more on the bottom. Yes. Okay. Try to get the socket to fit on there. There we go. That should be all the bolts, I would think. Yeah, just pop loose. Okay. Now, does that have any more bolts in it? I think. Do that spring so that way the whole assembly It'll come with the head. Just push rods. I'll set this on the table, and then we'll inspect it and see what we come up with. Oh yeah, that's blown. There's even an old bug in there. It's all blown out. But, more importantly, what does the cylinder look like? I gotta grab a clamp so I can clamp down the brake handle thing. Gotta move around this cord here. Grab a clamp. I'll be right back. I just gotta undo this brake thing handle so that way I can spin over the engine. Oh, is it locked up all of a sudden? Don't want to turn over. That's not good. You're supposed to turn over. Yeah, brake is disengaged, so there's nothing stopping it. I'll have to grab a socket on a ratchet to spin the flywheel. That is 15/16. Grab a short extension. See if it just already off to a bad start, I see. Oh, it's the blade on the table that's stopping us. Oh well. Cylinder looks beautiful. Good. Okay, so we know that the engine is at least in good shape. Get that piston back up and see if it... Okay. No piston rock, so we know that the rings are good. Okay, so we have a good engine that is worth putting a head gasket into, and that would be worth selling. Like I said in the beginning, but these engines start at about $150 on eBay for other good engines. Let's see, I think I want the camera on this side. Point you down. That way you can see. And I'll flip the head around. And you can see, I guess you can't see. It is blown there, right where that line is, all around it's blown. So therefore now we got some cleaning to do. I will probably lap the valves while I'm in here. Well, I don't know. I'll check and see if they're sealing, and if they're not sealing, then I'll lap them. If they are, we're just going to move on, because I don't want to spend a lot of time on this engine. Just making sure these head bolts are the same length, which they are. So that's good. I mean, everything looks good other than the head gasket. So I'll try and peel it off of here so I can give you a better view of where it's blown. right there, all there, right, focus, right there, it's blown. It's not actually blown over by the push rods, but yeah, right there is where all that air was coming out of on the bottom of the engine. So, I know I don't have that kind of head gasket. The only gaskets I have around here that are head gaskets are either the older flatheads or the Briggs single overhead valve, like the Intech and that kind. So, I guess we will do a little bit of cleaning real quick. I'll grab a razor blade if I can find them. I haven't been able to. Get the material cleaned off of the head. There's that. And let's see, where are the razor blades? Hold on, I gotta try to find them. Razor blades aren't where they're supposed to be. So that's just real fun there. Is there any in the handle of this scraper? No. Oh well, can't find no razor blades. Not a huge surprise. But at least we found the issue. We know the engine is in good shape. I'll have to figure out what's rubbing on the flywheel. I'll probably do shorts of me getting this cleaned up and fixed. I'll do shorts on just the cleaning and then do another live when I get the gasket. But I should be able to get one on Amazon for less than $8. I mean, I've gotten ones for $3 off Amazon before. I know it seems crazy that you can get one that cheap, but I have. I also got to find out where sorry about all the twisting. I had to undo the cord. So I'll have to figure out where the model number is on this thing, on the engine. It's not on the blower housing like it usually is. I'll get all the hardware kind of put back where it was. Empty mud dauber nest. At least I hope it's empty. There's the push rods, which they appear to be good and flat, not bent. I don't know where all the razor blades went. I haven't been able to find any recently. I've been needing them and they're all gone. So I think that'll be it for today. We got the problem figured out. I'll get a head gasket. I'll try to find the cheapest one I can because there's no point in spending a bunch of money on this thing. Kind of clean off some of the gunk on the fins, which I think I'll have to do that with the air compressor. I might not be able to get back to this week because it's supposed to get really cold apparently. So in a couple of weeks, well, I think another week and it'll be up into the 40s consistently. So I'll be able to finish this then because I don't want it sitting around and I want to get it sold, the engine sold in the spring. But I mean, it's in good shape. There's no rocking of the piston, so the rings are good. I'll get that junk cleaned off of there. Yeah, I found it. It's actually in the dump of a repair shop near here, nearby. And really the only reason why it was thrown away is on the other side of the deck, on the, I guess, standing looking at the front of it, on the right side, there's a bunch of holes and cracks in it. So that was the main reason it was thrown away. It's just the deck is rusted. I don't know if you can see or not, but there's a big, huge crack all along there. So the deck is junk, and really the only problem with it now is just the head gasket. The rings are good. I don't know if you seen it, Mr. L, but the piston don't move at all. Yeah. How did I know that? Well, I find a lot of trash around here. I've gotten a lot of other good stuff out of their junk pile too. But the engine's in good shape, so it's worth a $6 head gasket, I think, and I should be able to sell it in the spring. That's about all that's wrong with it. Yeah. Well, I think you just got here, but I'll show you the gasket. It's right there. It's blown. It's blown in 2 spots right there, and it's blown right there. So it definitely was bad. When I tried to start it, I sprayed a little gas in the carburetor, and there was a bunch of air and smoke just poofing out of the bottom of it. It honestly kind of scared me because I didn't know what all the noise was, and then figured out bad head gasket. So I'll get this all. And somebody's been in here and did a bunch of goofy stuff with all the bolts and over tightened them and left a bunch loose and replaced a bunch of them with just random bolts. Oh, what's causing the intake gasket on your car to look like that? I mean, I know the converter's bad, but I didn't know there was something wrong with the intake of your car. I think those are the 2 exhaust bolts. Yeah, that's what was happening with this. There's the 2 carburetor bolts. I'll have to get all these put back where they belong so I don't lose them all, because I like to lose hardware. All right, well, I guess I'll be done on here for tonight. Yeah, that's just about how this thing is. It's just kind of loosely put together. I think, well, the shop, I'm sure, knew what was wrong with it, and it's just got, a lot of other problems. The deck is all busted up. It would definitely cost more than this whole thing is worth just for the head gasket alone, let alone all the welding. Oh, wow. That's surprising. Well, maybe, I guess you could take out the spark plugs if they're not real hard to get to, and see if they're real white. Yeah, 270,000 miles can't guaranteed won't last very long. But if you take out the plugs and they look real white, that's a vacuum leak running too lean. That's, just kind of an easy indicator. And you can actually kind of see right there on the surface of the block that where it was blown. I'll shine the light in there. You can kind of see the dark spot. All right, well, I'll get all this put together. Well, not put together, but just all the bolts in their holes and put away. And I'll have to look at this coil, because it looks like it's been rubbing on this flywheel or something was scratching around on there because it's got a bunch of grooves on it. Yeah. It was sitting there for quite a while. They don't usually clear their stuff out very often, so I asked them if we could have it because I like junk, and they said we could, and that's all that's wrong with the engine of it. But the deck is all cracked up, and you can actually see a couple of holes in the camera there, and there's a big crack over in here. So it's junk. It's too bad because this deck it's a really thick, heavy, robust deck, and the rest of it's in good shape except for that crack by the engine, but it's cracked, unfortunately. There's no point in fixing it because it'll probably just crack again. I've had several other push mowers cracked. Wow, that's surprising. I thought we had all thought along it was the converter. Well, did those gaskets get changed with the new engine? It kind of seems like they would have or should have been, unless there was a problem with the manifold being warped or something. Well, I guess I'll put a couple tools away. That's the valve bolts there. Put all these sockets away real quick, or the one that I have out. But I'll get all the bolts put away. I don't want to spend a bunch of time on this. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's it is about 35 in the garage with everything closed, so it's pretty cool, but I got a lot of clothes on, but I do want to go in because it is kind of cold. All right, well, thanks, Mr. L, for stopping in, and everybody else who didn't and did show up. And I'll get off of here and get cleaned up. So thanks all for watching, and have a great night.